Happy New Year! I can't believe we're still fighting about NewJeans ILLIT and Sserafim. And is Leonardo DiCaprio going to be in Squid Game Season 3? Question mark. Doesn't seem likely. Spoiler alert. And is it really the start of 6th gen K-pop? All that and more on today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with me, Angelina. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have, or simply, I don't even know. What do you even do if you're watching this on Spotify for my audio only listeners, which is a thing I'm thinking of doing, by the way. I have an announcement to make. My stress balls are officially in timeout because I hurt my hand. My precious little hand is in so much pain right now. And it's not funny. Well, I guess that is kind of funny. I stress balled too close to the sun. How was your New Year's, everybody? I think in the new year, I think this will be on Spotify. So I'll try to be a bit more descriptive for our audio only listeners. But how did you bring in the new year? I would love to know. I know a lot of people listen to specific songs and they'll play them at a specific time so that a specific part of the song will play once it hits midnight. And I've seen a lot of people use Ives Afterlike because, the dance break part with all the fireworks is really fun to, enter the new year with. Some people are listening to Lucky Girl Syndrome by ILLIT because, let's bring in luck into the new year. Has anyone mentioned this? I want to suggest NewJeans by NewJeans, new hair, new teeth, new jeans, you and me. I feel like it's a good energy also to bring. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. And of course, let me know how you brought in the new year. Now, how K-pop is bringing in the new year, that's a totally different thing because Korean media. Now, listen. 6th gen is here. You can fight it all you want, and it's not according to me before you get your panties up in a bunch. I don't know how much I agree with this. When it came to 5th gen, I was so on board. Very on board. And I talked about it nonstop. We made podcast episodes about it, which, by the way, the podcast is officially coming back. All I had to do was literally just ask Audrey, and she's like, yeah, of course. 2025 is the start of 6th gen K-pop. We can fight about it. Sure, let's fight about it. Again, like I mentioned, I was on board for 5th gen because of NewJeans. NewJeans were my 5th gen queens. And of course, I do want to save a little bit, at least a little bit of this conversation for our upcoming podcast episode. But at the end of the day, we still need to talk about it. We still need to talk about the upcoming 6th generation of K-pop, allegedly, according to Korean media, though I haven't seen it as talked about like 5th gen was, right? 5th gen was just a couple years ago. Is it really that feasible to continuously change generations so quickly? Or is that just the new thing to do? Like, we're just continuously changing generations. Have you even seen any differences? Because like I mentioned, when NewJeans debuted, I feel like that was like that's what catapulted us into 5th gen K-pop. There was a difference. Like, you could clearly tell the difference between 4th generation K-pop and 5th generation. With 4th gen being more or less, teen crush, and then 5th gen being more, I don't want to say boring core, that's what I used to say, boring core, but more retro, back to basics type of thing. But like, what have we seen? We haven't really seen any differences, in my opinion, to merit 6th gen, but it's not up to me. I already know some of you are going to be like, it's not up to you. I know, it's not. It literally isn't, but we're still talking about it, okay? We're still talking about it. And I know 5th gen was unpopular. When people were bringing up the idea of 5th gen, it was unpopular. But I feel like bringing up the idea of 6th gen is even more unpopular. But let's look at some of the evidence, the quote-unquote evidence that 6th gen is upon us. So first off, it seems that Korean media said that 2025 would be the start of 6th gen K-pop. And this is according to a Naver article, apparently. So here we have a K-pop charts. Korean media is starting to refer to 2025 K-pop groups as the beginning of the 6th generation of K-pop. And then we also have another group called Cosmosi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this is a group being created by our visual directors of Blackpink, I believe. Well, I have it in my notes. Let's check it out. Cosmosi's debut is also being dubbed as a 6th gen debut, and they're set to debut in 2025, right? We're already in 2025. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. We're literally not. It's the first day of 2025. Cosmosi. I'm saying Cosmosi. When people add a C to the end of something. I keep thinking of that, like the cosmos's private parts, but I digress. Let's continue on here. They're an upcoming girl group formed by the creative director of Blackpink, aespa, and IVE, apparently. This is a new group that is set to debut. Again, the creative director of Blackpink, IVE, and aespa, allegedly. Oh my god, not the I end of the world. Do you see this? It says the A parenthesis E and D of the world. The I is very reminiscent of aespa, I will say. But anyways, they're being dubbed as a sixth generation girl group. Sixth generation girl group Cosmosi makes bold debut today. But yeah, but on the note of Cosmosi, some people don't even know if this group is going to be J-pop or K-pop. But if they debuted on the 31st, shouldn't we know this? I'm doing some very bad, totally legit K-pop journalism right now. But anyways, here's what some netizens were saying about it. It's probably J-pop. Does using K-pop talent automatically make it K-pop? LOL. Calling it the sixth generation? LOL. I'll start paying attention when they start calling it the fifth generation? LOL. For real? LOL. If a group debuts on January 1st, would they be considered the seventh generation? Not seventh gen already. I mean, if they debuted on the 31st, that's not even 2025. They're okay, that's way ahead. I would accept January 1st, but the 31st, absolutely not. That is taking it way too far in my opinion. But I'll, for the heck of it, I would accept a January 1st debut being 6th gen. But the 31st, no. So yeah, this group has debuted and they did so on December 31st. Too much. That's just too much. 88% of people are voting no, that 6th gen K-pop is not a thing. And fair enough. I was a huge supporter of 5th gen K-pop, like I mentioned. 6th gen, however, again, there's like, what's different? What's different? There hasn't been a huge shift. Like I mentioned before, NewJeans was a huge shift, and then we saw K-pop change after that. And K-pop is still kind of the same, so what's different? But yes, we will be bringing back the podcast, which will also be on Spotify, by the way. Kpop Canceled. I don't know if we should change the name. Kpop Canceled. I mean, we're not. I feel like we used to be spicy and now it's too scary to be spicy. So do we change it to Kpop Shocking or do we just keep it Kpop Canceled for the heck of it? You can let me know what you think about that as well. But it will be on Spotify. And yeah, are you excited? Mr. Kevin. Oh, do you guys want a life update? Guess who has mange? Allegedly. And who is allegedly on NextGuard now on top of Accutane? But yeah, that's the controversial news for today. Whether or not 6th gen is actually a thing. And, at the end of the day, maybe we don't have control over that. I mean, we don't have control. We didn't control when 5th gen started. We just kind of had to sit back and accept it, essentially. So maybe it's the same thing for 6th gen, even though I have way stronger feelings about it this time. Way stronger feelings in that there's really nothing that changed. Maybe. Okay, I'll entertain this idea for a second. Maybe if concepts like XG, and I guess Bad Villain by extension as well, more colorful concepts like that were coming back to K-pop, then maybe we could say, yes, 6th gen. And I actually predicted this, that 6th gen K-pop, and I predicted this in 4th gen, by the way, I'm pretty sure, 6th gen K-pop would actually be a return back to the colorful nature of 2nd gen K-pop. I feel like I'm giving away the whole podcast episode, but it's okay. You'll watch it again, right? But I predicted it would be like a colorful thing back again, and we're seeing just a couple of groups, but not a lot of groups. I don't think it really works like that because they're not even K-pop and they debuted like a long time ago. So it doesn't really work. Do you know what I mean? But if we had a group that like debuted with that colorful, young posse, I don't know anymore. Maybe we should just accept 6th gen K-pop is all I'm saying. But I don't know. I don't know anymore. 2nd gen is colorful. 2nd gen's like busy colorful. If you look at groups like NewJeans, it's back to basics, like school uniforms. It's a lot more tame, in my opinion. You're gonna see some colors for sure, but it's not like the busy nature of 2nd gen. Like, go watch a 21 music video and come back to me and tell me that another generation looks exactly like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think so. But those are my thoughts. Of course, share yours in the comments below. So on that note, let's talk about NewJeans because it seems that some netizens are saying that NewJeans is receiving preferential treatment in comparison to ILLIT and Sserafim, who happen to have been all on the same end of year broadcast show in Japan. So I'm gonna be really honest, I don't fully understand it, but I do think it's really interesting that all three groups were literally on the same show. It's fun to see, fun to see. But wouldn't you know, people are creating drama out of it. Are we surprised? Are we going to sit here and be like, this is absolutely shocking. I would have never. What? Are you kidding me? So look at the difference of treatment between NewJeans, ILLIT, and Sserafim in Japan. So basically what the person is saying is that NewJeans was centered, meanwhile ILLIT and Sserafim were pushed to the side. Now, this picture, I'm like looking at this picture and they don't either or literally look like they're pushed off to the side. You know what I mean? Like they both look pushed off to the side. So I'm not fully grasping this. But yeah, I mean, people are also defending it, saying that NewJeans won like a really big prize. So that's why they're more in the center. But I'm still not seeing them in the full center. That, I mean, obviously they're not. I'm assuming the two people in the middle are hosts. No, I don't know. I really don't know. They gave NewJeans more coverage on Japanese broadcasts. They stood NewJeans in the center and pushed ILLIT and Sserafim out of frame. So in this frame, obviously, you see one single member of NewJeans and like half a member of ILLIT question mark, I think. It's a little confusing. It's a little confusing. Some people are saying it's because they're wearing white, so they're literally standing out. Some people are saying it's because they won a big award, so they're a bit more centered. I mean, if you look at the picture, now we're looking at the picture, and for maybe my audio only listeners, we literally see NewJeans to the left of the stage and ILLIT and Sserafim to the right of the stage. Now NewJeans is a little bit more centered than ILLIT and Sserafim, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that much more. They're also the only ones wearing full white outfits, so they fully stick out. But if you look at the circles, the circle is circling NewJeans, but they're also circling people beside NewJeans, making them look more centered than ILLIT and Sserafim is. So even the circles seem biased. I don't know. You can let me know what you think. But so that's the new old news. It's new news, but it's old news. It's obviously people, in my opinion, this is my opinion, pitting these groups together. I feel like if it was NewJeans and two other groups, no one would bat an eye. No one would make a deal out of it, because the comments are basically saying like, wow, NewJeans are so big in Japan, they don't even have a Japanese member in their groups, you know, in comparison to, of course, ILLIT and Sserafim, who do. If it were anybody else, this wouldn't be a thing. Why would it be a thing that NewJeans are centered? Kind of, I mean, not even that centered on top of everything, right? That's like none of them are actually centered, in my opinion. From the screenshots, of course, I haven't seen the full clip. Just from the screenshots, no one is actually centered. Like quite off center, actually, just according to the screenshots again. But one of the first comments is literally, does anyone really care about this? I guess this is our Friday fan war. Welcome to Friday. What was it? Welcome to Fan War Friday, where we look at ridiculous fan wars and look at them. Yeah, here it is. There we go. I know it's not Friday, but here it is. Let's take a minute to talk about Squid Game Season 2. Have you guys been watching it? I think I'm up to episode 6. And I think there's like, only 7 episodes? I have like literally 2 episodes left, which, damn, if there's really only 7 episodes, that is not long at all. And it feels quite rushed while also being so spread out at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. Obviously, no spoilers, but we've talked about Park Sung-hoon before, who plays the transgender character on the show. So this actor, Park Sung-hoon, he got into a lot of backlash previously because it seems he accidentally posted an adult version parody of Squid Games to his Instagram story. So it was graphic, right? you saw some stuff. It was a little censored, but not that much. And then people were outraged. People were very outraged because he posted that to his story. And we talked about this in another video. Basically, his company came out and said, he was checking DMs and, that happened. That was his. Wait, give me a second. I'll show you. Oh, this is definitely not censored. I don't need to show. I won't show it to you anyways, but it's an adult version parody of Squid Game. This is what his company said about it, basically. Park Sung-hoon received many DMs on social media and accidentally uploaded it while checking DMs. The actor himself is also surprised and apologizes for making such a mistake in these times. He will be careful to not let something like this happen again. So that was the first statement that was released, but that was the first thing that his company said, and that's what we had talked about. But now his company is saying something a little bit different. The photo was received via DM and saved to his photo album while he was forwarding it to a company representative. So people are kind of saying that he's changing his story. Like, first he was checking DMs, but now actually somebody sent this to him and he was forwarding it to the company. Now, there has been some people. If you go on Twitter, you're going to see a lot of people. I mean, originally, just from the fact that he uploaded an adult version of Squid Game to his story, people were outraged from that fact alone. But it does seem that some people were looking into the work itself and finding out, more disturbing facts about the content of it, the quote unquote storyline of the video, and they're even more outraged because of it as well. Yeah, so he's under even more fire because I can't talk about it too much on here, but just people pointing out the disturbing nature of the content itself. Like, already it was an adult video. Some people might have thought it was funny or whatever the case may be, but then the quote-unquote storyline seems to be quite disturbing. It's not something that I'm willing to go and fact check myself, so just take that with a grain of salt, essentially. In general, we've been seeing a lot of backlash towards the actors, specifically in Squid Game, people bringing up a lot of their pasts, and yeah. But on that Squid Game note, it does seem, I mean, there was this rumor basically that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be in Squid Game season 3. I've been seeing this going around, and even this tweet by Popbase kind of confirming it, essentially. But if you look at the Twitter, what is it called? The community notes on it, it's basically saying they made this up. They made this up. I don't know where they got this information from. I actually want to find that tweet. Maybe Popbase deleted it, but it does seem that this was denied. Like, this is baseless, apparently. He won't be in Squid Game season 3, apparently. So apparently Osen talked about this, saying his screen time is said to be limited and details about his character remain under wraps to avoid spoilers. But then Star News said that Netflix actually denied this by saying the reports about Leonardo DiCaprio appearing in Squid Game season 3 are baseless. Now, I mean, if you're trying to avoid spoilers, would you deny something? Can they do that? What are your thoughts about that? Who do you want to see in Squid Game season 3? Okay. Moving on. So, do you guys know actress Chang-da? Basically, she, is known as Chang Wonyoung of Won. Am I saying Won? Oh my god, of IVE. I mean, I'm not lying, am I? Chang Wonyoung of Won and IVE. The sister. Then some people are kind of angry at people calling her Wonyoung's sister because she has her own name, she has her own career. But then it's like, well, a lot of people do know her because she is Wonyoung's sister. A tale as old as time. Is it nepotism? Or I don't know. Does that count as nepotism? I don't know. And she herself has also talked about it in the past as well. Being known as Wonyoung's sister. She has her own name, Changda, right? But people are talking about it once again because they both appeared at the 2024 Asia Artist Awards, and people saw them together. So some people were talking, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. People discuss this quite a bit, but people were talking about how she is only known because of her famous sister, Wonyoung, right? And netizens, of course, came to her defense. So let's read some comments. Wait, even after watching the Pyramid Game, you're still saying this? Honestly, when the news of Changda debuting came out, everyone said she was only debuting because of Wonyoung. But after Pyramid Game aired, public opinion changed. Well, I enjoyed watching Pyramid Game too. Changda, being a rookie actress, had decided acting skills and her visuals looked much prettier on screen than in selfies. She looks elegant and pretty when seen through the broadcast, even if she's not good at taking selfies. But as you said, if it's really because of Wonyoung that she succeeded, then so what? Jang would be lucky to have been the reason for the actor's success, but seriously, who cares? If you were so blessed, why didn't you wish you were born as Jang Won-young? Why would someone tell your parents to have a daughter like you? It's ridiculous to blame others like that. It's so funny. Joining Starship definitely gave her some boost, and without Jang Won-young's viral support, she might not have got the lead role. It feels like that. Why blame Jang Won-young for getting opportunities? Even if the only reason she was cast was because of Jang Won-young, take Shin Se-gi. For example, she's also a rookie actress who debuted through Pyramid Game. If it were only about Jang Won-young, would someone with your looks have been able to debut? It's about having both visuals and acting skills. Even if Jang Won-young isn't your ideal standard of beauty or talent, no one would debut you. I love going for the looks. Love it. I mean, let's talk about it. Let me know your thoughts, but let's talk about it. Because on one hand, maybe, of course, I have no doubt that sometimes some of your success is due to having a famous sibling, right? So it's like, would you have succeeded as much without that sibling? I mean, we'll never know. We'll literally never know. So it's kind of like a trade-off, right? You get called that sibling's sibling for a little bit, right? And you might succeed more, right? And then in the end, you know, a couple years down the line, maybe people stop calling you that sibling. I don't know. What was I gonna say? It kind of is a form. Is it a form of nepotism? Do you need to birth someone for it to be nepotism, or does, you know, being a sibling work out here? I mean, we've seen it before. Somebody's sibling being a sibling, having a family member, but it's not always negative. Because in K-pop, when you have siblings, people love it. Crystal and Jessica, you know, I'm sure a lot of people would say that's Jessica's sister, but you still love Crystal, and Crystal is still her own idol. You still love Crystal, but like you just like making that connection. Like, oh my God, they're siblings. Or Dada and Cheongdong of M Black. Oh my God, they're siblings. That's Dada's brother. But you still love Cheongdong from M Black. It's so cool that you can make that connection. Like, I love making connections. Like, oh, I'm watching a movie, that actor is Canadian, or that actor is this, or that actor is related to this person. I like making those connections. It's not always bad, but she was casted for the show, meaning she passed the audition, and and the producers think she can act. I mean, for sure, but wouldn't producers also look at, because I mean, clout. I'm saying, I'm not saying this in a bad way or anything, but like actors these days, or anyone trying to make it big, you need like a following, you need something. And if you're a nobody, like it's much harder from what I've heard. Just like people in acting, like they have to have a social media, they have to have blown up or something, or they won't even look at you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the connections in themselves give a leg up. It's always like that. Doesn't mean the person isn't talented, but the association definitely helps. Some people have careers they otherwise wouldn't. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be a horrible thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes I get really pissed off at the nepotism in the industry, because it's like, it's so clear. Like you have a famous person's child doing an acting debut or singing debut, and you're like, you for sure would not have gotten that opportunity if you were nobody. Absolutely not. Like, I don't even, in my opinion, like you did not work for this. You just didn't. And maybe you worked for it, but like you didn't work for it. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, so it doesn't always have to be such a terrible thing to be somebody's sister. It could definitely help you. Of course, it could be annoying, but on the other end of it, if it wasn't present, if it wasn't there, maybe you'd be worse off. So maybe it's a little bit of a trade-off. What do you think? What do you think of that? Let me know. Another trade-off, extreme fame, achieving something that so few people are going to achieving a level of money that so few people are ever going to see in their lives. There's going to be a trade-off. There's going to be less privacy. There's going to be some type of trade-off, unfortunately, right? But I mean, that's the trade-off. Does that make sense? So many people would make that trade-off. I mean, there's people who can't afford rent and can't afford this and can't afford that. They'd trade their privacy and privacy you can afford privacy, right? You can afford to go vacation in a private island. You can afford to do that. And you can afford to pay for privacy. You can afford to pay for all the things that you're trading off in the end. So what kind of trade-off is it? Are you ready for some K-pop shenanigans, which are basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently and or quick news? Well, Forbes have made a list of the most acclaimed K-pop of 2024, so I thought we could take a look at it. So according to Forbes, Rosé and Bruno Mars' APT was the most acclaimed K-pop song of 2024. Here's what they said. Blackpink's Rosé teamed up with Bruno Mars for APT, a genre-defying, defying? I think I'll try. A genre-defying pop-punk soul anthem that garnered global acclaim and became a cultural phenomenon with its playful drinking game theme and lyrics. From the year-end rankings and lists examined, APT appeared on 13 year-end lists and was the best-performing K-pop song on 7 of them. Then, for RM's Right Place, Wrong Person, this is the most acclaimed K-pop album of 2024 according to Forbes. RM's Right Place, Wrong Person emerged as the most celebrated K-pop album of the year. The BTS leader's sophomore solo effort gained traction for its emotional depth, sophisticated production, and range of they like that word, genre-defying collaborators. Right Place, Wrong Person appeared in 4 year-end lists and ranked highest among all K-pop releases in all 4. ILLIT's Magnetic is the most acclaimed K-pop group song of 2024. Like it's magnetic, super equilibrium. Girl group ILLIT made a major debut with a hypnotic track that was genre-defying. I'm kidding, they didn't say that. A hypnotic track that resonated with critics and fans to make them true rookies to watch. The track entered 11 different year-end lists. Ooh. So then we also have Triple S on the list. So Assemble 24 is the most acclaimed K-pop group album of 2024. The ambitious 24-member girl group Triple S delivered Assemble 24, an album that defied expectations with its experimental production and how the members shared the spotlight. The LP bowed across 3 different year-end lists. Continuing on, aespa's Supernova is the most consistently ranked K-pop song of 2024. Zoo 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 Supernova, with its explosive production and celestial themes. Very celestial, yes. Law-abiding, aespa's Supernova captivated critics by consistently ranking high across year-end lists. In the 6 ranked lists that it appears, Supernova almost always ranked highest, and many times at number 1 among all the other K-pop entries, and it did, to be fair, win so many awards as well. Zoo 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 Supernova. And of course, this wouldn't be a list without our NewJeans. New hair, new teeth, NewJeans, you and me. So they are the most acclaimed act across K-pop and J-pop in 2024. Despite a comparatively quieter year for new music, NewJeans balanced dual releases in K-pop and J-pop with exceptional critical acclaim. The 2 songs appear across 7 different lists with both standing out among Korean pop acts. Then at ATEEZ, we have ATEEZ in this list, who is most consistently ranked K-pop artist of 2024. The chart-topping boy band dominated 2024 with their 2 singles, Work and Ice on My Teeth, which appeared across 5 different critics lists. And then they have, they're ending off their list with more notable K-pop albums of 2024. So let's see. While RM and Triple S dominated the critical conversation, several other releases broke out this year in multiple year-end lists. So we have aespa's Armageddon, IU's The Winning, Stray Kids 8, NCT 127's Walk, the 6th album, Twice's With Youth. So there we go. And more notable K-pop songs that they're mentioning, beyond APT and Magnetic and How Sweet. Oh, did I screenshot this? I did. So here are some more songs that they are talking about. Cat's Eyes Touch, of course. Oh my god. Why wouldn't Cat's Eyes Touch be here? I love Touch. 2S's Plot Twist. I'm more of a hey enthusiast myself, but hey. I use Love Wins All, Rise is Impossible, BB's Yangang. I feel like that's not the whole title of that song, is it? Is it? And then Kiss of Life, Sticky. Sticky. So that is what Forbes thought of K-pop this year. Is Cat's Eye considered K-pop? Yeah, K-pop adjacent, like XG K-pop adjacent. They're in the K-pop spaces in the sense that I would bet some good money that the majority of their fans come from K-pop, but at the end of the day, they're not singing in Korean. They're they're just not singing in Korean. And they're being promoted a little. I mean, Cat's Eye specifically are being promoted differently. I feel like, would it be fair to say they have more freedom in comparison to other groups? I think so. I feel like they have more freedom. That's just me. So yeah, these groups, they're performing on Korean music shows. They have K-pop fans as their fans. They're even like on Weverse, they're doing lives like K-pop artists are. A lot of them are trained like K-pop artists, but then, it's these little details. And I think it's really smart. I've talked about this before because especially if you come out and say Cat's Eye is a K-pop group, K-pop fans are not going to have it. They're going to be like, you're absolutely not. But if you come out and say we're a global girl group trained by the K-pop system, that seems more humble in my opinion. And thusly, K-pop fans are more willing to accept that. And I've mentioned this before. I feel like groups like Katsu, they come out and say, we're K-pop. And then people are like, no, you're not. If you take the label of K-pop and you plaster it on yourself and there's something maybe a little bit different about you, stans tend to not like that. But if you're K-pop adjacent, they seem more open to it. Just from what I've seen. I think so. So then in our rumor corner, I do love ATEEZ and I do love, in a good drama. And he's rumored to be in a new drama. Now, again, this is just a rumor, but I thought we could take a little look. Here we go. Rumor. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Rumor, will be a cast of the new drama Genie Earth, starring Chung Eun-ji and Lee Sang-yeon. I don't know about you, but I'm just excited to see him in a drama. And he was in a drama before, if you guys remember. I was going to say Sparkling. That was definitely not the title. That was the name of the fake group that he was in. Imitation. He was in a drama called Imitation. It was so fun. He was really good in it. We also had San, Songhwa, and Jong in that drama as well. And actually, I'm going to show a clip here. It says, do y'all remember Yuno's fight scene in the last K-drama he was in, Imitation? And it's just beautiful. Let me mute this. Wow. So dramatic. He's just, fighting this UKISS member. It's beautiful. We love it. But anyways, it's so funny actually because in Imitation, when it was announced that he was going to be in Imitation, in the book or whatever, the original Imitation, the material of Imitation, his character gets the girl pregnant ? So people were freaking out like, oh my god, he's gonna get like this girl pregnant in this TV show, and people were freaking out about it. It was really funny, to be honest. And now I've seen people like worried that he's gonna have a kiss scene. It's always so funny to see people's reaction to this. And then, okay, so I think this is the last thing in our K-pop shenanigans, but the sheer amount of times we have to look back on this because it is officially 2025, and you know what that means. That means we get more Blackpink 2025 comeback announcements. How exciting. And I came across this tweet by About Music, and it's so funny because I was like, they've literally announced this so many times, like this specific Twitter account. So here are all the times that I could find that About Music announced that Blackpink was having a 2025 comeback, including their world tour. Let's take a look. So Blackpink will have a comeback and a world tour in 2025. BTS, Blackpink, and 21 are all set to return in 2025. Blackpink is reportedly projected to come back and have a world tour in the second half of 2025. Blackpink is set to have a comeback in 2025, according to YG. Lisa confirms Blackpink will come back in 2025. I'll accept this because Lisa confirmed it. It's different. The other times it's all freaking YG. Mind you, YG did announce it, I believe, 2 times. So cut their tweets in half. Does that make sense? It's the same image every time. I know, it's the same image almost every time. But then Blackpink, 21, and Baby Monster are all confirmed to be active in 2025. Blackpink will have a comeback and a world tour in 2025, according to YG Entertainment. And that's all I got for you. But it's surprisingly a lot, isn't it? So that is basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. As for me, I'm gonna get going. Happy New Year. Oh my god, Happy New Year. But I'll see you next time. Bye.